RSS was also planning on bombing multiple locations in India and blaming it on the Muslims. Hi, ladies and gentlemen. We have a situation here which does not seem very good. We have a resurgence of the same issue that Babri Masjid was based around with respect to temples. This might be a new way for the goddamn BJP to get more traction within the public, because most traction the BJP had was in 2014 to 2017 when the Babri Masjid thing was still live, where their support was still strong. Having said that, now that they're losing support here, there, you can talk about NEET, you can talk about CBSE, you can talk about the increasing prices. The Babri Masjid has come in focus all over again. And the Babri Masjid itself has come in focus with respect to the Bhojshala Temple. The Bhojshala Temple is a temple that is divided in two parts, where one part is Hindu and the other part is a mosque. The history of it goes millennia, where it was built in like 2 or 3 CE or something. And then after which, in the 14th century, a mosque was built on some part of the temple. And in 1992, they said, okay, both are there, both are historic. You might as well pray together in a very secular way. And since then, it had been fine. But it has now come back in focus that they are claiming that they found like another Saraswati idol in the Muslim part of it. Yes, we knew that they broke down some of the temple to build the mosque itself. And one of the reasons why the whole issue started to begin with. But having said that, whatever happens in this scenario, there is a high likelihood that they are going to use this to do a Babri Masjid 2.0, because Babri Masjid, remember, gave them the most amount of support from the normie Hindus. Babri Masjid was their thing. Making the Ayodhya temple was their thing. After the Ayodhya temple was built, everyone fucking ignored the Ayodhya temple. Then first it was Jai Shri Ram, now it was like Ram Who, where even the prime ministers kept screaming like, what, Jai Jagannath instead of Jai Shri Ram. Like, the moment the money coming from Ayodhya dropped, it was quite funny. But now they are doing Bhojshala Temple. So we are going to watch a video by senior advocate Vikas Singh. He tries to be neutral, but he's not. Then we are going to go through the history of Babri Masjid itself, just to get a bit of background. And then I'm just going to give you my thoughts on it. That is the structure.
Order from the Madhya Pradesh High Court, the Indore bench of the Madhya Pradesh High Court, which has declared Bhojshala to be a temple site. The Muslim side argues that this is indirect contravention of the Places of Worship Act. Your thoughts on the matter?
The Places of Worship Act was enacted in 1991, and it was enacted by the then government, excluding the Babri Masjid temple from the scope of.
I'm just going to reload this quickly, so I can do this. Yeah. You just know when they say neutral, they are right wing. Yeah. Generally, when you're talking about like neutrality, like true neutrality, it doesn't exist. Because if there is an oppressor group and there is an oppressed group, true neutrality will be calling out the oppressor group. Because neutrality does not mean you don't call anyone out. Neutrality just means that you would call each of them out for their own issues. But people have understood neutrality to be like, no, I'm not going to call out anyone involved. Like, not the oppressed, not the oppressor, no one. I'm just going to be like, no, it doesn't affect me at all. Like, this is the same thing that is happening with like the whole Israel conversation as well, where the neutrals will let the genocide go on without calling it out. You can be true neutral. True neutral in this scenario is like, you call out Israel and you call out Hamas for their own individual shit. You don't do like, oh, I'm not going to say something. Centrism is for cowards. Centrism is not for cowards. I don't think centrism is for the right wingers who want an excuse to be in left wing spaces. for whatever reason it may be. So they would be like, no, I'm actually a centrist. I'm not actually right wing. I feel it's more like a psyop, to be honest.
So there's a order from the Madhya Pradesh High Court, the Indore bench of the Madhya Pradesh High Court, which has declared BhojShala to be a temple site. The Muslim side argues that this is indirect contravention of the Places of Worship Act. Your thoughts on the matter?
It
The
is.
Places of Worship Act was enacted in 1991, and it was enacted by the then government, excluding the Babri Masjid temple from the scope of that act. And the purpose was that any pre-independence religious place will not change its character after the 1991 Act, and there will be no determination of whether nobody can claim that a place which is being used by the Muslims is to be used by the Hindus as if it were a temple. So according to me, till the act is in place and till the act is not either stayed or set aside or quashed, the court should not enter or cannot enter into this debate at all. And the suit should have been dismissed on this ground alone. But I also feel that the act itself is unconstitutional. In fact,
the act itself is not unconstitutional. It is a very normal act. It was technically nearly in every country. Like, I think America does like the 100-year-old shit act. Like anything that is built 100 years or before, is characterized as historical architectural building, which means it cannot be demolished. It is not an unconstitutional act either way. Having to say that, oh my God, it's an unconstitutional act is why I think they are trying to rile people up. Because you are basically saying is like, no. So the court can't help you. The act is anti-Hindu, basically, is what he means. So now, what are you going to do?
Argued this in Supreme Court and had got notices also issued because this act actually has no justification or no legs to stand upon. And that is something which is still pending in the Supreme Court, and we had asked for a stay also there, which stay was not granted. But till the act is there, or till the act remains on the statute book, I don't see how any court can get into this controversy to decide that a place which is considered to be a place for the Muslims can be declared to be a religious place for a different denomination, like for the Hindus or for any other sect. So this was, according to me, completely excluded from determination, which the court has done. And I'm sure the Supreme Court will examine this aspect of the matter when the matter comes here. But this is a complete bar on any court to entertain such a.
But that is a good thing, no? Like, if you have a place of worship that is for Hindus, for example, would you, why do they use so much? I'll get to it. Would you want it to be turned into a place of worship for Muslims? Like, come on, be serious. Uncle Ji is doing all this when he needs to enjoy retirement. I know. He's going to be the next Advani, guys. He wants to be, I guess. Why do they use so much AI? Because they are pussies. They're pussies. They're literal pussies. That's why they use so much AI. They, like, in India, AI use has become a guaranteed way to get clicks.
Suit or to decide such a claim.
So since the
by the way, the only reason we are even watching this is because we are speaking kind of against it or pushing back against it, or I would not have watched this video. I can guarantee you this. I will not watch a video on this stream if I can avoid it that has AI in it. That is the rule for me. That's why I don't watch Dhruv Rathi videos. That's why we have limited our viewage of even Ravish videos. Like, if you have been a consistent watcher, you would have noticed that we haven't watched a Ravish video in a while because of the AI use.
Places of Worship Act continues to remain in the statute books. There is a strong argument, rather a
if empathy is something this guy has, he wouldn't have been in this position, I guess.
social argument that old places of worship, especially the temples, need to be reclaimed. Talking about law and constitution, is there any place for such an argument as far as the present constitutional framework is concerned?
So as long as the
Gratian guy doesn't use AI on Instagram, you should watch him. Sure.
This 1991 Act remains on the statute book. I don't see how any other place also can be considered to be a temple, saying that it used to be a temple and accordingly it was desegregated and converted into a mosque or some other religious structure, and that it should be again declared a temple. But the case for quashing the 1991 Act has a lot of justification, because if you look at the 1991 Act, it was brought in as if to save the Babri Masjid. And the purpose of saving the Babri Masjid
Yeah, purpose of saving the Babri Masjid that led to this whole bullshit. Okay.
also did not happen. And there was no way by which this act could have been justified to save a particular, place like Babri Masjid. Because even if you go by the history,
The Babri Masjid
saving
broke anyway. You do realize that. Like, I don't think he realizes that. It was a bloody time. And like, what was the yatra called? Remind me. The Rath Yatra, Advani? Advani's what was the official name of it? Ram Rath Yatra, yeah. Ram Rath Yatra. You know how many people died in that yatra? Where is the saving from that? Where is the constitutional hammer on Advani? Like, come on. Be very fucking serious. Yeah, Ramrat. How many people died in that yatra because of the Hindu nationalists? This is pathetic to even discuss. Like, oh my god, this is a structure from the 14th century. Should this be still a thing? Oh my fucking god. Like, do they not have other temples to go to?
Babri Masjid to say
Like,
that
there's literally a temple next to it, by the way. Like, I'm not like, the temple itself exists, by the way. The temple itself exists, but no. Since 1991, they were told specifically that you can share. It is not bad. Like, it has worked for like 20, 30 years. If it wasn't for Lalu and his courage to stand up to Atanki Advani, he would have been end of India. Yes, that is true. Like, Advani was Modi just not given power. Lalu Yadav may have saved India long time ago. Lalu, like, Jesus, where are politicians like him anymore? Everyone is just like pathetic.
No other place will be looked at. Actually, according to me, has no relationship whatsoever with the Babri Masjid, because what ultimately has the statute done? The statute has taken away the power of the judiciary.
Even some like people glaze Advani a lot. Even some liberals. No, I don't know. No. Advani is in the dust now. He died. I don't think he even visited Ayodhya. He was not invited. He was left in the dust by Modi. He was thrown away like the piece of garbage he was. Seriously. Everyone knew he was a piece of garbage, and he was treated as such the moment Modi came in power through Advani. That's what these people do. They don't have loyalty to each other. They have loyalty to power. Why do you think the Babri Masjid was such an issue in the first place? Babri Masjid itself was made an issue to gain power. This is power, and there was nothing Hindutva about it. Modi gets the same treatment. Yeah, about that. He already has power. Advani never got power. Lips glaze Atal Bihari Vajpayee too, forgetting it was Atal who didn't take action against Modi. Yeah, I know. And he's responsible for the mess today. Yes, I know. Like, we'll do lip bashing later. Don't worry.
To adjudicate upon a claim. If somebody has a claim or has the substance to make a claim or has the evidence to substantiate in a court of law that this was a temple earlier and it has been now converted into a mosque forcibly, whether he'll be able to prove it or not is a different matter. But as long as he has some material to say that I want to prove this, why should the statute or the parliament bar anybody
normally, even to start a case like this, you need some proof in hand to be like, look, I have enough credible proof. That happens in every country. Apparently not in this country. Apparently, if you have a claim, you can just go and just cause a ruckus over it. Like, okay, do you have a claim? Like, oh, this was Temple, everything broken now from the top to bottom. Or everything just stop working. No one gets in, no one goes in, whatever. We are gonna inspect it within 10 years. This is what it is going to happen. Like you can just point at like for example Qutub Minar and be like, no, this is not Qutub Minar. There was a temple here. Qutub Minar is not a place of worship, and they'll have to stop everything and close it down. This is what would happen if the act is repealed, because all of these fucking idiots, the right-wing Sanghis, are just waiting. They're waiting for something like this to jump up and grab people.
Making out that case. Now, the justification given in that act is that you are wanting to stop forcible conversion. Now, the reasoning defies logic completely. Forcible conversion will happen like what happened in the Babri Masjid, where you brought down a mosque and said that we'll build a temple here. Forcible.
So it happened.
Can never be said to be happening under the orders of a court. If the court is wanting to examine...
Yeah, no, dude, Babri Masjid itself, like how did it end up coming down? Like, was it from the order of a court or was it the mob? Are people this stupid? I swear, are people this stupid? Like, I would hope that, I don't know, someone who calls themselves like senior advocate wouldn't be that stupid. Like, basic. It's kind of basic.
This should be considered to be a temple or not, and accordingly make a declaration to that effect. That will not be by force. That will only be by law. And if it is to be by law...
Yeah, no, I understand. Like, MMS had made many mistakes with respect to Modi especially. Like, there is no excuse for him. There is literally no excuse for him in that scenario. He has made multiple mistakes.
Law, then the whole basis of bringing in that law that you will be converting places by force really is completely defies any logic. So according to me, that act is completely misconceived. It is contrary to the settled principles of our country, jurisprudence of our country. And
like it is against everything other than basic fact and common sense.
The hearing happens on that act, the constitutional validity of that act, I'm sure it will have to be set aside.
So when the statute really said that there cannot be any forcible conversion of a place of worship, what did it actually mean and how does that really translate?
In my view, a forcible conversion will happen when the conversion happens by force. So for instance, if the Hindus were to
forcible conversion happens when the conversion happens by force. Slow claps.
Pull down a structure and forcibly build a temple there. On the
also, such a judicial action. Like Babri Masjid was such judicial, right, guys? Like it did come down. Like he's basically saying like, okay, forcible, like this shit is not going to happen. So like, how did Babri Masjid happen? Like the court is going to stop a mob of right-wing goons, like it has before. We'll see. Are called senior advocates, dog. I know. These are called senior advocates. I think this is dementia setting in, or like they literally cannot think clearly because of dementia or something. Or I feel sorry for him. Kind of maybe they are just making him read from a teleprompter. I mean, these are more or less kind of look like Modi fans. Maybe he's just reading off a teleprompter. Like you never know. Maybe it's not even his words. Maybe he's like actually quite a nice guy, but like they're like have a gun on him, or like, look, if you don't do this, we are going to like rip you a new one or something.
Earlier, or to change the idol in the structure and install a Hindu deity in a place of in a mosque where Nawaz etc. is being read. So that would be forcible. Just see what happened in Babri Masjid. The forcible demolition happened notwithstanding the act. But after the forcible demolition of the Babri Masjid, when the court finally ruled in favor of the Hindus, there was no further force used for the purpose of setting up the Hindu temple. It was
what? This is the dumbest thing I've heard. This is literally the dumbest thing I've heard so far. Like, what? What? There was no force use after it was already forced down? Okay. Guys, I might have found the dumbest senior lawyer out there.
By a judgment of the court, and it was accepted by all communities. And
no, it was not. Okay. Okay, maybe I need to correct a senior lawyer on what actually happened. If you actually go through the filings of the court, what you will find is that the court could not decide, and the Waqf board was like, we are not going to follow this case more. We don't want to. That's why the case dissolved, and like the Hindus were given whatever they were. Does Uncle Ji mean उनको तबाही चाहिए थी, यानी कोर्ट में मिल जाए तो मजा? Yeah, I think so. I think so. That is what he means. I don't know. Everything is alleged, I guess. I don't think he has read the Uncle Ji seems to have chosen violence. Like, that's all Uncle Ji's in India, dude. That's all Uncle Ji's in India. Every Hindu Uncle Ji is like, we want violence because I am never going to be on the front lines. I swear. Like, every time there is like a Hindu terrorist riot, all of these should be on the front lines. Please, I beg them to be on the front lines. Get off your fucking leather chair, give that to me, and go on the fucking front lines and do it over there. फुकट में बैठ के क्या चरप चरप चल रहे हैं इनका?
Ultimately,
that was my I was going to say chirp chirp, but I kind of Indianized that for some reason, but fine, whatever.
Peacefully, the temple was built in Ayodhya.
Yeah, peacefully the temple was built. Like this man has literally closed his eyes to everything. Like horse blinder लगा के news पढ़ता है बंदा ये. Like only maybe he only watches Republic TV. Maybe he only watches Republic TV. Like he doesn't know how to change the channel, guys. I am so sorry. This man has no idea how to change the channel on his news. I understand most of it is Godi media anyway, but he can't use the phone. Like, he's old. Please excuse him. He can't use his phone. He doesn't know what is happening. He has no idea what is going on. He can only start the TV. It says set on like Republic TV and DD National. Please.
And now it is a very well reputed and a very prestigious temple.
Also false. The footfall for the Ayodhya temple is down by 50% since the beginning, and it keeps going down because no one wants to fucking visit that fucking gaudy ass temple. You mean the lawyer and deputy prime minister from 2002 2004, Advani? Yes.
Of our country today. So I don't see what exactly did the statute mean by saying, because it is completely contrary to.
It stops all of the Hindu terrorists from going in and just claiming every single place of religious worship to be a secret Hindu temple. That is what it stops. Doesn't know how to use the computer either. No, he just don't. He can't. I'm sorry. That he's excused from everything. He's excused from life.
The spirit of a judicial determination, where after a judicial determination, if the judgment gets accepted,
I swear,
it has to be.
I swear, so I need someone to go to his house and claim there was a Hindu temple here. After this state of worship or whatever goes down, someone go to his house and then go to the police or go to the court and say like, no, his house was built on a Hindu temple. I need it to be changed. This is his house, was a place of worship. He has built it illegally. Just go and say it. Like, if the statute goes down, literally they're going to do it with everything. Might as well do it with his house. If all lawyers are bribed, who even truly neutral? Dude, this is not bribery. He's not bribed.
Be simpliciter implemented. The recourse to forcible, or even using the word forcible conversion in the statute loses its significance. So when you're saying that the court will not determine, obviously you are saying that court will not determine, but forcible may happen. It's just the contrary which the statute.
No. He's fighting for his cause. Yeah, he's fighting for his cause. No, so he's like saying, no, because the statute is there, that's why people riot. Okay, buddy. So what, next time what? We remove... What? Sorry, this hear me out. It's possible this guy is innocent. He just read the teleprompter because Raghav Chadha is right now holding his what in front of him, and moment he goes off, say Chadha is going to start rigorously right in. Dude, you're gonna get us in trouble. Why did I accept that message? No, but like he's like, no. Because of the statute, we have violence. So like because of rape laws, we have rape. Basically, he's saying because of rape laws, we have rape. Not because the police are useless. Not because there is no sexual education. No, because rape laws exist, we have rape. Because murder laws exist, like murder is a punishable crime, is why we have murder. If we don't have that, we won't. People should be able to go in the Supreme Court and be like, I want this man murdered. Why can't I kill him? That's basically what he's saying. I can totally see him saying that. Not gonna. Yeah, I know. I mean, that's the argument he's making.
Statute will result in. So today, in spite of the fact that there was a clear, mandate that the Babri Masjid will not be demolished, it still got demolished forcibly. And by a judicial order, a temple was later on constructed at the very same site.
How about going in and jailing every single person involved, including Advani, because he was? But nahi, wo to karna hai nahi. You can see the fear in his eyes. Oh, from Raghav Chadha wanking in his face, sure.
Similar things happening in other places of the country where by force people are, changing the nature of that place of worship by converting it into from one religion to another, and not letting courts to decide whether the
but they are not. That's the point. That's the entire fucking point. If you have a place that has been converted by force, go to the court saying, oh, look, these are getting converted out, like, and going against this law. But no, those are the Hindus converting Muslim temples, so that's why you are not going to go there. Fine. Anyway, so what was this whole shit about in the first place? Where is this? Where's this Bhosle controversy? Yeah. So this is old, by the way. This is not new. Let's just go through this controversy, okay? On May 15, 2026, the Madhya Pradesh High Court declared that the disputed BhojShala complex at Dhar to be a Hindu temple dedicated to a deity Saraswati. Now, this has already happened. At the center of this standing figure of Jain Yakshit Ambika. This icon was recovered from the temple complex more than a century ago and is presently housed in the British Museum. It is worth examining that the British Museum actually notes that the inscription found on the ancient artifact, especially in the Madhya Pradesh High Court, has potentially identified the shrine as a Saraswati temple. Okay. The inscription, as translated by the British Museum authorities, reads Om Varashi, who is intended on the dharma of the Chandranagari and Vidyadhari, both branches of Jain tradition of Srimad Bhoya. Also, by the way, Jainism is different than Hinduism, by the way, just to be very clear with you. It's not the same. But this is not, they're not putting this as a Jain temple. Afterwards, a triad of Jinas made this beautiful image of Amba, ever abundant in fruit blessings. The icon was fashioned in the year 1091. While both manifestations of Divine Mother, the Jain Ambika is the Yaksi or the guardian deity associated with I am not reading the name. Neminatha and 22nd Trikankara. It may be Jain icon. Hindu Ambika, the record also carried a child associated with mangoes, but certain presentations she is depicted wearing weapons. She is significant departure from the peaceful Jain iconography tradition. Meanwhile, the Hindu Saraswati, who is also custodian of knowledge, carries a veena. Oh, okay. So I get what happened. So they wanted to force Hinduism on top of this. That's why I think the courts forced it. Like they were like, no, we have Ambika, she's weapons. So Jain, so technically, so it's a Jain temple, yes. But we also have Saraswati. So you just like connect it there, please. This mission iconograph, but unrestricted daily access has been granted for Hindu worship. Only Hindu allowed to perform puja on Tuesdays and Muslims offer Friday. What is your assessment on this? See, that would still be better than what is probably is going to happen. You have to look at this based on what has happened since past couple of years. Do you, like, this is not enforced? Technically, Muslims have been run out of their own private rooms because they were praying in their houses or in like a shed. I don't know. There was this thing. They were praying in a shop and they were ran out of the shop. So look at the enforcement of it rather than just this. They can claim that, oh, because the Muslims are praying on Friday, they are making the place completely and utterly like unlivable. They can just claim that, by the way. That's a bit extra, so it doesn't require too much. Anyway, let's take a step back. Let's look at what happened with Babri Masjid itself.
सब जर्नलिस्ट के मन में क्यूरियोसिटी थी कि 6 दिसंबर को क्या होगा, क्या मॉस्क गिरेगी या नहीं गिरेगी। 4 दिसंबर को शाम को एक मेरे दोस्त थे विश्व हिंदू परिषद के मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट BL शर्मा प्रेम, ये ईस्ट दिल्ली से MP थे, उनको मैं जानता था, वो भी वहाँ पर थे। तो मैंने उनसे पूछा कि क्या बाबरी मस्जिद गिरेगी या क्या होगा। वो कहता तुम देखते जाओ, हम कुछ रिहर्सल करने वाले हैं। और मॉर्निंग में वो मेरे को ले गए साथ में, अकेला मैं था। विश्व हिंदू परिषद का हमने बिल्ला बिल्ला लगाया और थोड़ा सैफरन वगैरह पहना ताकि मैं भी उनके बीच में वही लगूं, और वो ले गए विश्व हिंदू परिषद वाले मेरे को अंदर।
Also, during the whole Babri Masjid saga, multiple times they tried to fake that it was a Hindu temple as well. Rehearsal or demolition. Yeah, they did everything. They did it in schools, they did it everywhere. Like, it was a whole thing. They really went in hard. This should have been clamped out as it was starting. It's not like the government was not knowing about this. It was Rahul Gandhi's father, Rajiv Gandhi, who didn't do shit about this. Like, that's what I'm saying, right? Rajiv Gandhi has fucked over the Indian government, like the fabric of India so fucking much. And one of the reasons why BJP even exists is because of him.
I was really shocked कि वहाँ पर रिहर्सल थी। ये रिहर्सल थी बाबरी मस्जिद के बिल्कुल पास में ही, आधा किलोमीटर भी नहीं होगा, शायद आधा किलोमीटर होगा, इफ यू रिमेंबर। जैसा कि आपने फोटोग्राफ्स में देखोगे तो उसके अंदर बाकायदा प्रोफेशनल लोग थे, हथौड़े या जो बिल्डिंग गिराने का जो सामान होता है, जो इक्विपमेंट वेल इक्विप, जो कुदाल वगैरह, वो सारे के सारे रिहर्सल कर रहे थे। इंटरेस्टिंग पार्ट वाज कि वहाँ पर एक टीला था, एक टीला बनाया हुआ था उन्होंने, तो उस रस्से के अंदर लोहे की ग्रिप बनाने के लिए वो ग्रिल यूज़ कर रहे थे ताकि टीले के ऊपर चढ़ा जा सके रस्सियों से। और सेम मेथड उन्होंने यूज़ किया मॉस्क में। अगर आप देखेंगे मॉस्क के अंदर उनको ऊपर चढ़ के तोड़ना था तो कैसे मॉस्क के ऊपर जाएंगे। तो सेम रस्से जो रिहर्सल वाले टाइम पे यूज़ किए थे, सेम मॉस्क के चारों तरफ लगाए उन्होंने, और वो रिहर्सल कर रहे थे। और उसमें से एक आदमी ने नकाब पहना हुआ, नकाब मतलब ये जो रुमाल वगैरह से अपना फेस,
हेलो, आई एम फाइन,
छुपाया हुआ था। तो बाकी मेरे को जो लगे लेबर टाइप या जिसको बोलते थे कार सेवक हैं, दे वर वेरी प्रोफेशनल। बट जो उसने मुंह छुपाया हुआ था वो लगा मेरे को इनका मास्टर माइंड है, वो ही इंस्ट्रक्शन दे रहा था इन लोगों को कि कैसे करना है, कैसे ऊपर चढ़ना है, और मस्ट भी इंजीनियर होगा या कुछ, जो कि अपनी आइडेंटिटी नहीं देना चाह रहा था। तो ये सारा रिहर्सल का पिक्चर हमने खींचा। वापिस आके के मैंने होटल में अपने कुलीग्स या दोस्तों को बतलाया तो नोबडी वाज बिलीविंग कि ऐसे हो सकता है। आई वाज वर्किंग विद द पायनियर, उनको भी विश्वास नहीं था। जब वो पिक्चर एक छपी और रस्ते से जा रहे हैं तो उन्होंने भी सिंपल कैप्शन दिया, वो भी विश्वास नहीं कर रहे थे कि ऐसे ऐसे रिहर्सल हुआ था। 6 दिसंबर को हम पहुंचे वहाँ पर, तो 2 मंच बने हुए थे। एक तो वीआईपी।
See, the breaking of the Babri Masjid was planned. It was never about like, oh, this is just a mob. It's just that just went into the riot. This was planned. This was paid for.
था, अडवाणी, जोशी वगैरह सारे के सारे वहाँ थे। दूसरा एक और था, 3 फ्लोर की बिल्डिंग थी या 4 फ्लोर की, उसमें सारे मीडिया वाले ऊपर थे। तो जब मॉस्क टूटने लगी, लोग चढ़ने लगे, सेम मेथड का उपयोग कर रहे थे, तो अचानक उन्होंने मारना शुरू कर दिया जो मीडिया थी। और सबसे ज़्यादा इफेक्टेड लोग वो थे जो उनके पास कैमरे थे।
Because this was planned. This was planned. They attacked the media for a reason. They don't want the images to go out. They don't want it to sound like, oh, look. It is natural. Like this is just, they wanted to be like, this is just a riot. This wasn't a planned attack. आज हम किस बारे में बात कर रहे हैं? Dude, I need you to stop flirting with me like that. It is very blatant. And it is... Anyway, we are talking about demolition of the Babri Masjid. It was a fundamental turning point in Indian politics. And this one thing that happened with respect to this was that they are trying to do a 2.0 in my estimation with respect to the Bhojshala.
आइडेंटिफाई वो ज़्यादा हो रहे थे।
No, you don't have to be sorry, by the way. It's fine.
सारे एविडेंस खत्म करने हैं, तो कैमरे जो इतने भी थे ऊपर से फेंक रहे थे, 3rd फ्लोर से 4th फ्लोर जो भी था वो तोड़ रहे थे। हम भागे वहाँ से टुवर्ड्स,
I have no water on me.
ताकि उनको बोला जा सके कि रोको इसको। अपने जैकेट में कैमरा छुपाया और ऊपर मैं पहुँचा अडवाणी के पास और उनको बोला कि ऐसे ऐसे हो रहा है, आप इनको रोको। नोबडी वाज बोदर, बल्कि मंच के ऊपर वो नारे लगा रहे थे, जय श्री राम, सुप्रीम कोर्ट की आज्ञा का पालन करो। सुप्रीम कोर्ट का ऑर्डर था ना कि मॉस्क नहीं टूटनी चाहिए, तो पालन करो। लेकिन बाद में वो हंस रहे थे, मतलब दे वर जस्ट जोकिंग कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट की ऑर्डर का पालन करो, और बाद में सारा का सारा जो पब्लिक थी वो हंसती थी। आई स्टिल रिमेंबर जब टूटने के बाद इवन नरसिम्हा राव वाज द प्राइम मिनिस्टर, वो भी फोटो।
Oh shit, no, it wasn't Rajiv Gandhi, it was Narasimha Rao.
देखना चाह रहा
My bad.
कि कैसे हुआ। तो खांडेकर वाज द ओएसडी, मैं उसको पर्सनली जानता था, तो ही कॉल्ड मी अप
Iron Moff is very old, dude. Iron Moff is very old.
कि साहब
I give shit to everyone, don't worry about it.
देखना चाहते हैं पिक्चर। तो मैं उनको बतलाया, एक्सप्लेन किया खांडेकर को, उसने प्राइम मिनिस्टर को बतलाया कि एवरीथिंग वाज प्री प्लान।
Yeah, this is literally a game plan that was happening. It was completely, utterly pre-planned. That's like, okay, we have sort of evidence where RSS was also planning on bombing multiple locations. I know what's behind me. RSS was also planning on bombing multiple locations in India and blaming it on the Muslims.
विश्व हिंदू परिषद, आई थिंक ही वाज अ बिग बॉस। मैं छिपके नहीं ले रहा था क्योंकि आई वाज फीलिंग कंफर्टेबल विद इट। मेरे लखनऊ कोर्ट के अंदर मैं जाता हूँ और जज ने भी माना है कि मैं अहम हूँ, गवाह हूँ। जज ने मेरे को बोला था लास्ट टाइम कि इसके पास तो काफ़ी सबूत हैं कि जिससे साबित होता है कि ये ऑलरेडी प्रिपरेशन किया था, इन्होंने रिहर्सल किया था। बाकी तो नेगेटिव मैंने इसलिए संभाल के रखे थे कि डिस्ट्रॉय ना हो जाए, क्योंकि मेरे को मालूम था कोर्ट केस होगा, ये सब कुछ होगा, तो उसके अंदर जरूरत पड़ेगी। थ्रेट कोर्ट के अंदर होती थी, जैसे कोर्ट के अंदर
ठीक है, Tears of the Kingdom, it's a very good game.
बजरंग दल के वकील हैं, शिवसेना के वकील हैं, आर्गुमेंट करते हैं।
I'm sorry you can't focus. I can't avoid
तो
having it all.
फोन के ऊपर गालियां देते थे और जज के सामने गालियां देते थे, मतलब गंदी गंदी गालियां देते थे।
There is also one more thing. This thing that was presented 6 months ago. The thing is, Bhojshala also happened 6 months ago. So it kind of feels like, okay,
काला इतिहास है।
नहीं, मेरे को एकदम आइडिया नहीं सी। नहीं पता, आप बताइए। क्या बोले, खुशहाली।
none of us know historically पहले क्या था वहाँ पे, तो जो ऑलरेडी बना हुआ था उसको डेमोलिश करके अपना एस्टेब्लिशमेंट करना is against the secularism of that is mentioned in the parliament.
6 दिसंबर वो दिन है जिस दिन में फैसीवादी बीजेपी उनका जो एग्रेसिवनेस
Amen to this man.
एक तो हम सब जानते हैं 1956 में बाबा साहब अम्बेडकर साहब आज देहांत हुआ था, महापरिनिर्वाण, वो तो है 6 दिसंबर। और उसी दिन उससे भी एक बड़ा परिघटना इंडिया में संगठित किया गया था, बाबरी मस्जिद को ध्वस्त किया गया था।
लोग सोचते हैं जो भारत का जो भावना, द आइडिया ऑफ इंडिया, उसमें
I'm confused. Did the Archaeological Survey of India remove the Devi in the temple? Is that why they are raising this as a judicial issue? No. So the thing is, they're raising this as a judicial issue to remove the masjid. Not like the Devi has nothing to do with it. They're saying that they found a Devi, that's why everything should be converted back to a Hindu temple. Is the same thing with the Babri Masjid.
एक बड़ा पिलर है।
Even with like giving them like, okay, we can do this secularly, they're not really thinking about it.
एक बड़ा पिलर
So
है
we have to
भाईचारा।
avoid a Babri Masjid 2.0 is
एक साथ
what you should
रहेगा।
be taking out of this.
तो ये जो पिलर है, ये जो ढांचा है, इसका ऊपर एक अटैक बोल सकते हैं, आज का दिन में हुआ था 1992 में। और यही सोचते हैं जो खाली एक ढांचा नहीं, एक मस्जिद नहीं गिराया गया, और ये है हम लोग का जो भावना है, भारत का जो भावना, उसी के ऊपर ये आक्रमण है।
1992 वो लोग क्या किया, जो पूरा जो 450 साल से पुराना जो एक तो बाबरी मस्जिद था, उसको ढांचा तोड़ दिया जबरदस्ती। ये लोग जाके एक गैर कानूनी ढंग से ढांचा तोड़ के वहाँ एक तो कब्जा कर लिया। और इसके पहले से ही वो लोग शुरू किया था, इसके पहले से बहुत दिन से साजिश चल रहा था।
दुनिया भर का जो मेहनत कश, साथ साथ भारत का, हिंदुस्तान का जो मेहनत कश आदमी है, उसके ऊपर एक फैसिस्ट शासन कायम करने का पहला इंस्टेंस जो है वही है ये 6 दिसंबर। हम लोग इसका खिलाफ बराबर रहेंगे, रहते रहेंगे।
TLDR and my general opinion on this is we need to avoid a Babri Masjid 2.0. This country cannot get worse than it already is, because at this point and as things that are going, it's like this can be the linchpin at this point. I am sorry, like this sounds like a linchpin. This looks like a linchpin. Like imagine Advani's Ram Rath Yatra and all of the deaths that were caused because of it, but now nationwide with the backing of the government. How do we do that? We are overrun by bloodthirsty Hindu nationalists. Talk about this. We have to get the normies on board. That's it.